Hey guys, today's workout, we're gonna start on the floor. We have two people helping out today, Nora and Zach. So the first thing we're doing of this floor series, we're gonna start lying on your backs in the crossover stretch. So, on your backs. So the key here is to start with your feet, your legs bent with your feet about 18 inches away from your butt, depending on how long your legs are. And you're gonna cross your right leg over your left, squeezing your knees together as tight as you can, creating that tension like you're squeezing a deck of cards. The next part of this exercise is maintaining your shoulders down on the floor. You're gonna let your legs drop to the right. By doing this, you're gonna create a stretch down the IT band, the TFL, and your outside of the hip. Once you get that stretch, as Zach just did, you're gonna bring that left arm over behind your head at an angle on the floor. The key here though, when your arm goes back, you really want to maintain that wrist, elbow, and shoulder on the floor. So you may need to take some pressure off of the leg to get that arm down on the floor. This is all you're doing, a 30-second hold. Every exhale though, you're going to try to just sink those hips a little lower, maintaining that stretch. You get the stretch right here, Zach? Good. Just hold that right there. This is a great stretch for people who sit all day at their desk, or if they're runners, it's a great thing you can add whenever. The key though is to maintain that lower back stability. So when we come up from this stretch, bring that left palm by your side. Take a big breath in and exhale, bring your legs back up to center. Nice, so same thing, we're just gonna switch legs, bring that foot down, cross that left leg over the right. And just imagine that that foot is even with your armpit down the side of your body. Let the legs drop down towards the left, maintaining that tension on those legs, keeping that shoulder on the floor. And then you can bring that right hand over on the floor, making sure that shoulder, elbow, and wrist are all flat on the floor. Let's just hold that right there. Keeping that tension, every exhale, push those knees down a little lower. And just hold that right there. So bring that palm back down towards your side. Exhale, bringing your legs back up to center. You're gonna flip on over onto your stomachs into a push-up position. Make sure the shoulders are over your hands. And then you're gonna slowly walk your feet forward about 2 or 3 inches. And we're gonna pike your hips up into that down dog. The key here though is trying to keep the lower back flat. Hold that right there and you're gonna get a nice stretch in the back of your legs. What helps me too is you can bend your right knee, trying to get that left heel down and then switch legs like you're walking your calves out. Nice job. So from this is gonna be our transitional exercise into the mountain climber stretch. So we're gonna shift right into that push-up position. Hold that right there, and you're gonna drop your right knee to the floor. This is just a good brace to help trick your body into a deeper stretch. From here, you're gonna bring your left foot on the outside of your hand. Nice big step. And then you're gonna lift up that back knee off the floor slightly, keeping that knee bent slightly, and you're gonna squeeze that glute down. This is gonna create a stretch in that hip flexor and psoas. Do you guys get that stretch? Nice. So from this position, you're gonna pulse your hip down and up about 10 reps, really focusing on keeping those elbows drawn in to get the lats to fire and the shoulders away from your ears. After about 10 or 15 pulses, drop your knee down to the floor, step back and switch legs. Nice, lift up that back knee, squeeze that glute down and pulse that hip about 10 or 15 times. Again, this is another exercise you can do that really helps if you're running or playing basketball or any activities. It's a really easy way to open up your hips. Drop that knee down. We're gonna go 2 more reps per leg. So step back and switch legs. Nice, lift up that back knee, pulse that hip again. Good job, and then drop that knee down, step back, switch legs. And every time you're trying to step a little further forward just to get a little more stretch. Nice, one more rep per leg, step back and switch legs. Good job, lift up that back knee. Try to keep your chin tucked though for a neutral spine. Squeezing that glute. And drop that knee, switch one more time. Lift up that back knee, pulse that hip. Good job, you guys. Nice, so from here, you're gonna step back into that transitional down dog. So step back with that foot, pike those hips up, keeping the shoulders away from your hands. And you can walk out that calves. So bend that right knee, foot slightly, and then switch. You're about 3 or 4 per side, depending on how tight you are. And from here, the next one is the pigeon. So we're gonna go back onto your hands and knees. You can drop to both knees. From here, bring your right knee up towards your chest, lifting up that back leg, and then you're gonna sweep that heel under you so it's right under that hip flexor of your left leg, and then let your back leg drop to the floor. And you can try to let your shoelaces relax on the floor and just hold that right there, keeping your hips even. Again, you gotta kind of find your sweet spot where it doesn't hurt your knee. And then from here, you can just slowly walk your hands forward and hold that pigeon. Trying to keep your chest up nice and tall, maintaining a nice flat lower back, and you're not rounding your shoulders. And then keeping that same stretch, you're gonna walk your hands slightly to the right. And when you walk to the right, you're gonna pull that left arm up slightly just to engage the stretch from that shoulder and lat down to that hip. Nice, walk your hands back to center, and then you're gonna slowly walk them to the left. You can really stretch out that right arm as much as you can. Again, you're trying to get that lat stretch from the lat down to the hip. Nice job. So from here, bring your hands back to center. Push yourself back into that down dog. You can shake out the leg. And then you can walk out the calves again, about 3 or 4 per side. You can even do them together, bend both knees, and then trying to get both heels down. And then from here, shift the hands back over your shoulders. Sweep that other leg up towards your chest. Make sure that heel is right under your hip flexor. And then drop that back knee to the floor, relaxing that back leg back like someone's pulling your leg back even. Hold that right there, tight stomach, and then slowly walk your hands forward. What helps me is I really focus on the breath. So every exhale, you can slowly just sink into a little deeper, walking your hands a little further forward. And once you get that sweet spot, you're gonna walk your hands to the left slightly. The other left, Zach? It's okay, I have 2 left feet. So, and really focus pulling that right arm out. I would keep the chest up a little higher so you're not rounding in that lower back. Bring your hands back to center. Keeping that same idea in mind, walk your hands to the right. Focusing on pulling that left arm out, really to get that stretch all the way from that lat down to that hip. Hold that right there. Good job. Bring yourself back to center. Press yourself back up, and we're gonna go to that down dog one last time. Kind of shake out that leg, wiggle it out. You can walk out the calves. Nice. You're gonna take a knee. We're gonna flip over into the last floor series. It's called the T-spine stretch. Great for your thoracic spine, and then we're gonna go into the breath sole, which is a continuation of it. So you're gonna start lying on your backs. They're gonna kick both legs straight ahead in front of them on the floor. They're gonna interlock their hands, pull that right knee up towards your chest. Keeping that tension, you're gonna let the body shift over like you're in a fetal position all the way to the left. Making sure that knee stays higher than your hip, just to protect that lower back, so your lower back stays flat the entire time. And so it's okay, again, to let that shoulder come up off of the floor, because it's really more important to keep that knee down on the floor to protect that lower back. So in this position, you're gonna take a big breath in, grabbing a chunk of the ribs, and then every exhale, they're gonna exhale, releasing the hand, trying to get that shoulder and back to the floor, and then inhale and reach back. We're gonna do this for 5 reps. Every time trying to get a little lower, really focusing on the breath. And if you're at home and your knee can't touch the floor, you can always grab a medicine ball, a pillow, a foam roller, anything, a book even. But it's really imperative that that knee stays on the floor just to protect the back. After 5 of these, you're just gonna hold it back, guys. Hold that right there, trying to get that shoulder down, keeping that knee on the floor. They're gonna have 1 shot to do this or they may cramp in the hamstring. They're gonna grab that left leg with that right foot, with the right hand. Hold that right there, trying to get your head and shoulder down, keeping that other knee on the floor, and then just hold this for about 10 seconds. And this stretch is really good to open up that thoracic spine. Good job. Unhook those legs. Kick those legs straight out in front of you. Same thing on the other side. So interlock your hands again. Bring that left knee up towards your chest. Let your body go into that fetal position, roll into the right until that knee touches the floor. Again, keeping it above 90 degrees to protect that lower back. Once that knee's on the floor, with that left hand, take a big breath in. Exhale and open up that hand, trying to get that head and shoulder to the floor. And do that 4 more times. Every exhale, trying to get a little lower. Nice job, you guys. Hold this last one back. So you're 1 shot without cramping. You're gonna use that hand, grab that foot. Maintain that stretch, keeping that knee down. And every exhale, again, you're trying to get that shoulder down a little lower, so really use that breath. There you go. Good job. About 10 more seconds or so. Nice. Unhook. Roll over onto your backs. Find yourself, because it's now time to start the core work. Good, so keep your legs straight ahead. This is a one-time thing. Reach up like you're Frankenstein. So your hands aren't too high up, they're about at a 45-degree angle. Hold that right there. Pressing that lower back down. You're gonna exhale and roll all the way up until you're midway of your shin. And then this is the only time you really wanna round your back. You're gonna round, slowly going down, 1 vertebrae at a time, until your shoulders touch. And then exhale right back up for 5 reps. Nice job. And big exhale up, you guys. The key here is not to have any momentum, so you never want your hands to go over your head and then swinging yourself up. After that 5th one, go all the way down. Hold that tension so you're still in like a mini crunch. Hold that right there, crunch up a little higher, Zach. There you go. We're gonna go into the teaser hold. So keeping that tension, bring that right knee towards your chest. Hold that right there, and now lift that left leg off the floor. Hold right there. Again, if this starts to hurt the back, you can do the same exercise, just keep this foot on the floor and this leg up and hold that right there. And slowly switch legs. There you go. Feel the burn, you guys, feel the burn. Switch the leg, we're gonna go 2 more sets of this. Nice job, don't forget to breathe. Switch again, hold right there. And if this really hurts your neck too, don't mind of just going back here behind your heads. You can bring your hands behind your head. Switch, 1 more rep per leg. Nice, keep that tension, pressing that lower back down to protect your back. Last rep, switch, and hold. 3, 2, and relax. Nice. Flip on over onto your forearms. We're gonna move along to that front plank. So the trick here is elbows are directly under your shoulders, and you're gonna start with your hips up nice and tall, almost like you're piking your butt up. And the key here is when you do that, you're gonna squeeze your stomach, engaging your core, and then you're gonna tuck your butt under you, trying to hollow out your stomach. Keeping that tension, squeezing the glutes, tight quads, hold right there. Good job. If this is too difficult, you're gonna bend your knees to the floor and just hold that, still maintaining a tight stomach and tight butt. 30-second hold. Just keeping that neutral spine. You guys are doing a great job. Good. Drop to your knees. Flip on over onto your backs. We're gonna go into the leg lifts. A good trick here is you can sit on your hands, because all we're trying to do is to maintain that lower back tension to the floor. So your legs are straight ahead. You're gonna crunch your head up slightly, getting your shoulders off the floor, and then raise your feet about 4 inches off the floor, and keeping your toes flexed towards your knees to keep that tension, pressing that lower back down. Hold that right there. Your legs are just gonna move up about 3 inches, and then right back down for 10 reps. Keeping a short and shallow exhale. So every time those legs come up, hold it and exhale up. There you go. Nice job. Hold that 10th one up in the air. Bring that right knee back to your chest. Now reach up with both hands so you're back in that teaser crunch. Instead of holding it this time though, we're gonna crunch. You're gonna do 10 little crunches. Again, if you need to, you can bring your hands behind your head. Hold that 10th one up, keeping that tension. Slowly switch legs. 10 more crunches, guys. Nice job. Flip on over. This is the last front plank of the series. Again, we're gonna go for a 30-second hold. Again, start up, piking your hips up, squeezing your stomach, tuck your butt down so you're hollowing out, holding that right there. Squeeze your butt nice and tight. Find that tension spot in the core. Pull your elbows in tight so your shoulders are away from your ears, engaging those lats, and just hold that right there. Again, if this is difficult, you can start with 10 seconds, not 20 seconds or 30, and you can also drop your knees down to the floor, and you can do the same exercise. Or you can stay up. Hold that right there. Nice job, you guys. Take a knee. Flip over onto your backs one last time. Lie all the way down. Hands go behind your head. Start with your elbows touching the floor so you're nice and relaxed. Bring both knees up towards your chest. Hold that right there. Now crunch up just slightly. And the key here is to press that lower back down so that you're flat to the floor. Holding that right there, you're gonna crunch up elbows to your knees. Hold that right there for a 3-second hold. And then let it go, letting your arms and head go back, and then crunch right back up. Hold. Down, right back up. Hold it. 2 more reps, you guys. Down and up. Hold. Last one, down, up. Hold this right there. Keeping that tension, they're gonna go right into the bicycle crunches for 10 per side. Imagine you're on a balance beam so you're not swaying too much side to side, and you're trying to kick those legs straight out every single time. You can do this at your own pace. Nice job. Keeping that breath. Nice. Last core thing of the day. Flip on over into that push-up position. By now you should be sweating and that core should be firing. Keeping the hips up, same idea as that plank. You're gonna start with your butt up slightly, squeezing your stomach, tuck your butt under you, shoulders away from the hands, holding that right there, keeping those hips up a little higher, squeeze your butt down, quads are locked. Without letting your hips move at all, you're gonna bring the knee straight up towards your chest without the foot touching, and then step back and switch legs, 10 per leg. Keeping the neutral spine, head up a little higher, Zach. There you go. Nice job, you guys. Keep it up. Again, it's the little things that make the big difference. Keeping those shoulders away from the ears and a neutral back and spine. After you're done with this, take a knee, pat yourself on the back, and you made it. Good job. So the first thing we're doing is a circuit of 2 different exercises, a founder and a psoas lunge stretch. The first exercise is the founder. We're gonna start with your feet about 2 fists apart. The easiest thing to do is just make 2 fists, bring them in between your knees, squeeze your knees in tight to create that tension in your adductors. Once you get that tension, bring your hands on your knees, press your chest up nice and tall, locking your shoulders in, engaging the lats. Make sure you can clap your toes to really focus on the weight on the heels, and then reach back with both hands with your thumbs reaching up. Hold that right there. The key to this exercise is to focus on having a nice straight lower back from the tailbone to your spine, and just hold that right there. If you're a beginner, this is a great place to start, just maintaining that tension for a 30-second hold. From here, you can take a big breath in though. Exhale, reach straight ahead if you want to push it, and just hold that right there, elongating the spine, pushing your hips further back, and keep that tension, pulling your knees in super tight, and just hold this right there. Nice. As soon as you're done with this exercise, about 10 more seconds, you just got to make sure to squeeze your butt when you stand, and exhale, stand all the way up. Nice. We'll push that a little further the next round. For the next exercise, it's called the lunge stretch. So you're gonna step forward with that left foot, take a big step back with that right leg, bend that back knee slightly, squeeze your right glute forward, tuck in the hip under you to engage the psoas and that hip flexor stretch. Once you get that stretch, interlock your hands, pull yourself up nice and tall, lean back slightly, squeezing that glute a little further forward, and then side bend to the left, pulling that right arm up nice and tall. Just hold that there for about 20 seconds. Really focusing on pulling that right arm up and out to engage that stretch all the way down the lat to that hip. Leaning back a little further, hold that right there. You guys get that stretch?
Yeah.
Take a big breath in, bring your torso back to center, step forward with that back foot and squeeze your butt. Nice. Same thing, but we're gonna switch legs. All right, time to do the next leg on that psoas lunge stretch. So take a big step forward with that right leg. Bend that left knee slightly, so 80% of that weight's on that left leg. Squeeze that left glute forward, kind of tucking your hips under you. Once you get this stretch in that psoas and hip flexor, take a big breath in. Exhale, reach up with both hands, locking the shoulders in. Lean back slightly, and then side bend over to the right, pulling that left arm up and out. Hold that right there for about 10 seconds. Again, the goal here is to lengthen this arm up without collapsing into that rib cage, and you want to get that stretch all the way down. Hold that right there. Don't forget to breathe. Take a big breath in, bring yourself back to center, guys, and then step forward with that left leg, squeezing your butt as you come up. Good job. First round done. So again, we're going to start back with that founder. So remember, your feet are about 2 fists apart. All the weight's on your heels. You guys should be able to clap those toes. Bring the hands in between your knees. Squeeze your knees in tight to get that adductor tension. Once you get that, place your hands on your knees, pressing your chest up nice and tall. Reach back with both hands. Hold that right there. Once you get this stretch back here, you're going to push your hips back a little further, moving like a seesaw. As your chest falls forward, your butt goes back slightly. Keep that tension. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring your arms around, reaching towards each other, pushing your butt a little further back, keeping the shoulders locked in. Raise the arms up a little higher. Good job, guys. Hold that right there. Pull those arms up a little higher. Keep that tension, pulling those knees in, just to keep it out of the lower back. 3, 2, big exhale, stand all the way up, bring your hands in. Nice job. Right back into that psoas stretch. Big step back with that left leg. Bend that back knee slightly. Squeeze that hip forward, leaning back. We're gonna progress this slightly now, so interlock your hands, reaching up. Pull yourself up nice and tall. Squeezing your stomach, pulse back slightly. Hold right there. And then side bend again towards the right. Very nice, really pull that arm up. Do you guys get that stretch?
Oh yeah.
Okay, just remember, try not to collapse here. Lean back a little further, Zach. Hold. Bring yourselves back up to center. Hold that position. Squeeze that glute nice and tight and then pulse back slightly. So you're just going in this motion for 5 reps, doing a short and shallow exhale every time you go back. Hold that 5th one back. Side bend again over towards the right. Hold right there. You should get a little deeper stretch now. Breathe, about 3 more seconds. 2, 1, come back to center. Dig that right heel in the floor, squeeze your butt and stand all the way up. One more time on the other leg and then we'll break for a little water. So big step back. Bend that back knee slightly. 80% of the weight's on that back leg. Lean back slightly, tucking that hip under you. Interlock your hands, pull yourself up nice and tall. Lean back a little further, squeezing that glute a little further. Side bend over that left leg. Staying nice and square. You don't need to push it to get the stretch. Hold right there. Come back to center. We're gonna pulse back for 5. Remember, you're trying to get that hip flexor and psoas, so squeeze that glute every time you lean back. And hold that 5th one back. Good job, you guys. Side bend towards the left. One last hold. Hold this right there. 3, 2, pull yourself back to center. Dig that heel and stand all the way up, squeezing your butt. You guys wanna push it? All right, here we go. We're gonna go a little change of pace. Same idea as that Founder, it's just a wider series. So you're gonna go pretty wide feet. You guys can watch me too. Your feet are about 8 or 10 inches wider than each shoulder. It's that same idea though. You're gonna bend the knee slightly. The weight's on your heel, so you should be able to clap those toes. And then you can physically use your hands, push your hips back, letting your heart fall forward, just like a seesaw, until you get that stretch in the back of your legs. Once you get that, pull your knees in tight to create that tension in your groin and adductors. Once you get that tension, you're gonna reach back with that same idea. Hands are back, externally rotating your hands back. Hold that right there. Nice. Again, the idea is as that heart falls forward, push your butt further back to create that tension, and then keep those knees tight like you're pulling your arches in, resisting. Hold that right there. Do you get that tension in the inside of your legs? Nice. So just hold this here. If you want to push it, which I think they do, you're going to exhale, reach straight ahead with both hands, push your butt back a little further. Now bend the knees about 2 inches lower and pull your knees in even tighter. And then raise the roof, bringing those hands up. 10-second hold. Don't forget to breathe short, shallow breaths, and you want to keep your chin tucked so you're not going to hurt your neck or your cervical spine. And from here, this is where it gets fun. They're going to exhale, drop their hands to the floor. If your hamstrings or lower back are killing you, you can kind of bend the knee slightly and then exhale, getting your legs straight for that hamstring stretch. Just remember, bend and snap. Good. Keep the knee slightly bent, pushing your butt back. Create that tension, pulling that left knee in, and open up that right arm towards the ceiling for a windmill. And we're just gonna hold this 10 seconds. And the key here is just trying to, every exhale, twist a little deeper, keeping the weight evenly distributed, but you're really focusing on pulling that left knee in. Do you guys get that in the inside of that left leg? Nice. Bring that hand back down to the floor. Walk your hands forward slightly, pushing your butt a little further back. There you go. Open up that left arm towards the ceiling. Again, you're trying to really push your butt back, engaging that right lat and pulling that right arch in just to get that stretch. Great job, you guys. And you can watch Nora's knees. They're totally vertical with her shins. This is going to protect your knees and make sure you can load the glutes. So from here, they're going to bring their hands back down to the floor. And to make sure they're set, they're going to bring their hands back on their knees, press themselves back up into that starting position, making sure that chest is a little lower, Zach. Hold that right there. Reach back with both hands with those palms externally rotated. Keep that tension, pulling those knees in. The longest 5 seconds of your life, you're going to hold it. And then from here, you can go Fonzie thumbs. Squeeze your butt, stand all the way up, locking your legs. And a key thing here, whenever we stand up, you just want to make sure that you don't hyperextend that lower back and lean back like this. Your glutes are made to protect your back, so that's what they're there for. This is your top. Tight quads, tight butt, tight stomach. Good job, you guys. Next exercise. Yeah, just like the Fonz. Hey. Okay, so same idea. The lunge stretch. But a little different exercise. We're gonna focus on the hamstring of the right leg. You can call this the woodpecker, a single leg deadlift variation, whatever you want. But the idea is we're loading your glute and hamstring. All right, so the next exercise of this circuit is the single leg founder or the woodpecker stretch. We're gonna start with that right leg forward, so step back slightly with that left leg. Same idea as the wide series. You can physically use your hands, pushing your tailbone back and up as your heart falls forward, maintaining that straight back. Once you get this, 80% of that weight's on that front leg, so you should get that stretch right where the hamstring meets your glute. Once you get that, externally reach back with the hands, rotating your hands up towards the ceiling. Hold that right there. Let's see if they're doing it right. Okay, chest a little lower, raise that tailbone up slightly. Hold that right there. Again, if this is your first time doing this, just hold this stretch right here. All right, hold that right there. Take a big breath in. And exhale, bring your arms around, reaching straight ahead if you want to push it. Hold that right there. Just remember, if you're pushing it, keep the shoulders back away from your ears, arms up a little higher. 10-second hold, maintain that nice flat back. Digging that heel. You should start to get that burn right where the glute meets the hamstring. Do you guys get that a little bit? 3 more seconds. And then from here, whether you're here or here, you're gonna bring the hands back into that Fonz and then tight butt all the way up. Nice. Switch legs. So left leg forward, right leg back. Push your hips back with your hands, letting your heart fall forward. Pressing that heel on the floor. Exhale, reach back with both hands. Rotating those shoulders back. Digging that heel, maintaining a flat lower back and even hips. Nice, and if you're really tight, you really want to focus on opening your hands up as much as you can. Let your heart fall a little lower. Raise the roof with your tailbone, Zach. There you go, hold that right there. Take a big breath in. Exhale, bring the arms around. Hold that right there. A little trick too is when you're reaching around, you can bring your arms forward, pull your chest a little lower, and then lock your shoulders back in and then raise the roof up. You're gonna sink about 2 inches lower. Nice job, dig that heel. Exhale, stand all the way up. Nice, good job. So we're gonna do that one more time, that whole circuit, starting with the wide feet. So feet about 10 to 12 inches wider than your shoulders. Okay, weights on your heels, you should be able to clap the toes. You're in that athletic stance, so bend the knees slightly, pushing your tailbone back and up as that heart falls forward. Hold that right there. Reach back with both hands. Keep that tension, pulling your knees in nice and tight. Zach, really open up the hands as much as you can, keeping the elbows close to the rib cage. There you go. You guys are both gonna take a big breath in. Exhale, reach straight ahead. Hold that right there. Pull yourselves a little lower, pushing your butt a little further back. And now raise your arms up about 2 to 3 inches. Try to relax your face, even if it hurts. Hold that right there. 3, 2, exhale, drop your hands to the floor. Walk your hands forward slightly, pushing your butt back slightly, keeping the weight on your heels. Shoulders are away from the ears. Open up that left arm towards the ceiling. All the weight's distributed on the inside of that right leg, like you're resisting my hand pulling your knee. You get that stretch in the adductor. Hold that right there. Great job. Trying to also make sure that this lower back stays flat. Just hold that right there. Bring that hand back down to the floor. We're gonna get legally blonde here. We're gonna bend the knees slightly and then exhale, pop your butt up, bend and snap, you guys, about 5 reps. Every time you exhale, try to get your legs as straight as you can, keeping the shoulders away from your ears. After 5 of those, bend the knees slightly, trying to get back into that reset position. And then we're gonna unwind that other arm up towards the ceiling. That right arm, nice. Every exhale, try to get your arm a little further back. Nice job, you guys. Bring the hands back down to the floor. Redistribute the weight onto both heels evenly. Bring the hands on your knees. Press your chest up, straighten in the arms, pushing your knees back slightly. Pull them in a little tighter. Reach back with both hands. Tight stomach, so there's no arch in that lower back. Butt back a little further, Nora. Hold that right there. That's perfect. 5, 4, 3. Dig those heels on the floor and lock the legs. Nice job. Right back into it. Right leg forward to that single leg founder. Same principle, same idea. 80% of the weight's on that right heel. Digging that heel, use your hands, pushing your tailbone back and up, letting that heart fall forward. Hold that right there. Reach back with both hands, really rolling the shoulders back. Hold that right there. So again, we're gonna progress this slightly now. So take a big breath in. Both of you are gonna exhale, reach straight ahead. Hold that right there. Pull yourselves a little lower, pushing your butt back and up a little higher. Raise those arms up slightly. If this is hard for you, just hold this for 10 seconds. If you really wanna push it, you're gonna turn to the left slightly, just like Nora, and you're gonna push your hips further away from you, pushing your butt back. She's got to fear the foot, really pushing that butt back. Do you feel that difference in your glute? Mm-hmm. Okay, hold that right there. 4, 3, 2, turn yourselves back to center. Hands come to that Fonzie position. Dig that heel, stand all the way up. Nice, switching legs. Then a break. So dig that left heel on the floor. Again, you can physically use your hands, pushing your tailbone up and back so you get that stretch in the hamstring and glute. Reach back with both hands. Nice job. Maintaining even hips like you have a glass of water on each hip. Hold that right there. Exhale, reach straight ahead with both hands. Shoulders away from the ears. Pull your chest a little lower, raising the tailbone up a little higher. Zach's just gonna raise his arms up slightly, a little higher. Nora, you're gonna pivot to the right. Fear that imaginary foot, pushing that butt back. Arms up a little higher. Hold that right there. Just breathe it out. 4, 3, 2, come back to center. Elbows come in. Big exhale, stand all the way up, squeezing your glutes. Shake it out. You made it. Good job, you guys. Just remember, a few tips are, when you guys stand up, you never want to hyperextend your lower back. And we always want to watch where your knees are. The whole idea of this is to load your glutes to protect your knees and your lower back. So when you do things, just be very careful to not ever do this or to do this. But other than that, great job.